This is the Lycaon GR 2021 model. So much has changed over the past 3 years since they launched the GR back in 2019. When this board first came out, it was kind of where the market was sitting. It had a Lingy-esque, had some very basic hub drive motors. It was quite fast and it was cheap. It's still cheap, but they've added a lot of enhancements to this board. Everything from the new Hobbywing motors that can fit the new Cloudwheel donuts. The ESC has been updated twice now. First to a generation Hobbywing, now to the latest generation Hobbywing with the auto on feature. So you can press one button to turn the board on. I really like that. Lingy has the kick to push, which is very handy, but it can be very frustrating as well when the battery goes flat and you're trying to kick home and it keeps beeping, or if you've got it in your car and it's rolling around, it keeps turning on. The board is still an 8-layer Canadian maple, so very strong with a little bit of flex. The flex it's not too flexy, but it's also not too stiff. It's kind of like the Goldilocks. It's nice for a heavier rider like myself. This board is not the best board in the world.
Shut your mouth.
It's not the second best board in the world. It's very, very far down the ladder, but that's the point. This is a fantastic beginner board and it does what it promises. Out riding this, we did a few tests. First thing we did was a top speed test. On the website, it claims 38 kilometers per hour. And as you can see here, we got very, very close to that number, 37.6, I think it was from memory. So that's not bad for a 225 plus pound rider. As far as braking, the braking is very, very smooth. It's a little bit on the light side, but that is very indicative of a Hobbywing ESC. I'd love to see it stronger. On their Swift and their TRX, it's much, much stronger. So I'm thinking it could be a combination of the ESC and the hub motors. Now, as far as rideability, this does not have double kingpin trucks. It has single or reverse kingpin trucks. They're very smooth. You don't get speed wobbles and you can sit on their top speed very comfortably. The turning circle is nice. It's nothing compared to a double kingpin, but still, if you put enough weight into it, you can get a really nice tight turn without getting wheel bite, which is great. And once you're moving, you can really get some nice carves going. The board feels very secure under your feet. It doesn't slide around. Those nice metal enclosures have good ground clearance, and all in all, it's a very nice board. They've also upgraded the front wheels. They're now running a 78A 90mm wheel, a little bit thicker contact patch. I believe it's 60mm. So being a hub board, this will not suit all occasions. Off-road and so on, it's not built for that. It can handle light off-road conditions, compacted dirt, limestone, that sort of thing, and it will go over small rocks and pebbles with not too much fuss. It's not an all-terrain board, so don't buy it thinking you're going to go on all-terrain trails. However, these Hobbywing motors with these nice thick sleeves, I believe they're around 7mm. They can actually absorb quite a lot. We did some road tests and went down some really rough roads, and here you can actually hear the difference when I go from the smooth stuff to the rough stuff. You can hear the difference, but the feeling was actually very minimal. It still felt very good on both. Yes, I was getting some vibrations, but it wasn't like the hub motors of yesteryear where you'd get off with pins and needles in your toes. Big benefit of the 2021 GR is that it is Cloudwheel donut compatible. Now, I know Cloudwheel have just released a new model which goes on almost all hubs now, but it's nice to know that these are the originals. These are the tried and trusted Hobbywing hubs. With the remote control, it's the standard Hobbywing remote. You've got power, you've got 4 speed modes on the remote control. So you've got low, medium, high, and P for power. It has reverse by double clicking the power button. And it also has cruise control, which is a nice little benefit of the Hobbywing ESC. Now, you may notice this remote is red. It's actually a silicone cover that Lycaon sells. These covers are perfectly made and designed for the Hobbywing ESC. The remote slips into this hole at the top, and they come in many different colors. These are really nicely made, no splitting at all when you force it in, and it really does fit like a glove.
It fits like a glove, Captain.
So let's do the SWOT analysis on this board. I've been running this board for probably close to 2 weeks, and if you take it for what it is, it's a very good board. Remember, this is under 500 US dollars. They have it in most of their warehouses around the world, so it's very fast shipping. It's a good learner intermediate board. If you're after a super fast, super carvy, torquey board that's going to fly you up any hill, this is not the board for you. If you're new to the sport, if you're a little bit nervous and you want to get something that's going to be simple, reliable, and does what it says, this is a good choice. So let's talk about the strengths. So the strengths of this board are its nice strong deck. It's really nice under enclosures. They're made out of a nice metal. These upgraded Hobbywing motors, the upgraded Hobbywing-esque to the latest model with the auto on. These really nice front wheels with a 78A durometer and the 60mm contact patch, 90mm in size. Very, very good at absorbing shocks and so on. Now let's move on to W, weaknesses. And there is one weakness with this board, but it is to be expected for a board of this price range and also the way it's been built. And that is just the torque. And this is for my weight. If you weigh 70 kilos, this probably won't be an issue for you. But I find that the hill climbing on this is a little bit low, but it is the same with all of my hub boards I have behind me. Hub boards and Hobbywing just don't really have that same acceleration curve to get you up those quite steep hills. It'll go up normal hills without a problem. Okay, let's move on to opportunities now. There is one opportunity with this board, but again, I think it's really limited by the price point. You know, they're doing as much as they can to keep that price down. The one opportunity would be the deck, and that would be to see just a little bit more concave. It's a very, very flat deck, but it's still very comfortable to ride, but just a little bit of concave I think would make the world of difference on this board. Okay, and the last one as always is threats, T. And thankfully there are no threats on this board. Greatly improved over the previous two models, the GR19 and the GR20. This one has the very, very reliable ISK, the good motors, it's strong. They've changed battery suppliers. They had some issues with batteries in the first batch and a little bit of the second batch, which they replaced, I believe. They've got a new battery supplier. So now let's talk about why this sub $500 board, I believe, is better than a lot out there. And it comes down to what's at the front here, what's under this big enclosure right here. Under here is a 7.5 amp hour 10S3P battery configuration with the 18650 cells. Now I know a lot of brands are moving to the 21700s, but they're doing 12S 2Ps. This is a 10S 3P, so more cells, and they're running at a 10C discharge rate. Now on a range test on this board, I got 27 kilometers on up and down from some very small hills, but sitting around the 25 kilometer mark. So 27 kilometers on a sub $500 board is very, very good. All right guys, that brings us to the end of this first look at the Lycaon GR 2021 model. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's a slightly different format. Please comment down below if you like it or don't like it. The weather's been a bit rough here and we've had a bit of a pandemic breakout, so we've had a lot of lockdowns. So I wanted to find a way to still get out and film it, but I had to have a mask on, so we couldn't do the normal way. Let me know if you like this format, if you want to go back to the original format. All right guys, Lycaon GR 2021 model, highly recommended for a sub $500 board, beginner board. I'm gonna film a shootout video with all of my sub $500 boards. So we'll be looking at the Lycaon GR, the Wellgo 2S Pro. We might put the Max Find fake carbon one in the mix. We've got the N-Skate coming, the R3. It actually looks like a really nice board. And I've got a couple others here as well. We might film that over the next couple of weeks so we can really do what is the best board, or not the best board, we'll show you why each board has its own strengths and weaknesses. All right guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, skate safe, and we'll see you on the next video.